Okay, so last night, May 28th, got to check out an early screening of the new Flash movie. This is going to be a spoiler-free review slash in-depth first impressions of what I thought about the movie. So the movie itself, this cut was not complete. They said it's mostly complete. Now there's probably a couple of scenes that I feel like this movie is still missing, and there's for sure the credits, which we did not see. When the movie cut, it just cut, fade to black kind of thing. There were no credits at all, and there were no end credit scenes. So I still will be checking out this movie next month when it drops. And now the stuff that I'm going to be talking about in this movie, I'm going to keep it to the things that we've seen already in promotional material, trailers, posters, things like that. Obviously, the Flash himself, Ezra Miller, he was fantastic as both roles. It truly felt like you're watching two different people interact with each other, despite it just being Ezra being both different versions of the Flash. Sasha as Supergirl, yo, bad to the bone. I would flip my lid to see her in a full-on Supergirl movie. She was awesome. I don't know, it felt very like Bane-esque in The Dark Knight Rises, where some of the facial expressions that she was making and some of the faces that she was making, like you felt it. She just had this like gravity and this presence to her. Michael Keaton does a fantastic job at being both familiar and fresh. He kind of felt like a safety net that no matter where this movie was going, when we get back to him, he just helps lift this movie to different proportions, and he really helps to carry on the story in parts of the story. I don't want to say when and I don't want to say where. Michael Shannon as Zod it's like he's missed no time at all. He literally just fell right back into that role. And my buddy Brad, who I went with, he mentioned it so perfectly. He's got this gravitas to him. It's like, it's this energy and this presence that he has, and he's just rock solid. He didn't skip a beat. He was absolutely exactly what you wanted him to be. So for everybody that's actually in the movie itself, I didn't have any issue with, the writing, the pacing, and with the actual performance. The performance from everybody I thought was definitely top notch. Now, with this being a near complete cut of the film, there were a couple of things that stood out to me, and a couple of things being, CGI related. And I'm just going to assume that's due in part to this being like a fan slash early screening cut of the movie. I do imagine that the theatrical cut will be just a tiny bit more polished, but outside of like a couple moments where that's happening, the film itself, the visuals were stunning, the music was epic, and the structure of the story, it flowed nicely, I thought, and it very much is a Flash-contained movie. There's a lot of Flash, a lot of Barry, and it's very much a Flash movie. Think like No Way Home in the sense that like that's a Spider-Man movie, and then there's a supporting group of characters. This was very much that. I will say this, on like the fun-o-meter, this movie I thought was like a 10. It was so much fun from start to finish. It's absolutely a movie you gotta watch in theaters. The sound, the visuals, everything. It just added to the atmosphere, and it added to, the entertainment value. Totally well worth the 15, 20 bucks that you'll spend on a ticket. Overall, is it, DC's like Hail Mary, like the greatest comic book movie of all time? I liked it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was really, really good. I don't want to give my exact thoughts on that part yet until I see the theatrical cut. Based on the cut that I saw, I would say absolutely it's really, really good. I don't know if it's DC's like Hail Mary, if this is the movie that's gonna be crowned the greatest thing in comic book movies. Already I find myself liking a couple other movies, even from the DC universe, more than this, because they did certain things better, and I don't want to say what those certain things are, again, because of spoilers, but the movie as its own, as a Flash movie, and as a movie in 2023, as a big blockbuster epic, absolutely it's a must-watch. It's a lot of fun. I really, really did like it. I also don't want to give a score, because it's hard to score this cut of the film, but I will say this, despite watching it, I'm still just as excited to see it again in theaters, also to see the things that weren't added, but to just kind of, get a second watch of this movie. It's a very big movie. The movie lets itself breathe, but there's a lot of things that you're going to kind of look around at and be like, oh, and huh, and ah. Yeah, kind of leave it at that, I guess. So, that being said, movie was fun. Movie was a really good watch. Do encourage that you check it out. if you've seen this cut of the film, or if you're coming back to this after having watched the film, maybe don't mention anything about the story in the comments. Just let people know if you liked it or didn't like it. Maybe don't go into detail why. I do have a separate video coming out, if not already out, where I go into spoilers, where I go into some things about the movie that I really, really liked and things that I didn't like and, whatnot. Keep an eye out for that. I'll link that down below when that's ready to go live. But for this cut of the movie, the spoiler-free sort of in-depth impression, it's a lot of fun. Performances were great. Visuals were stunning. It's a really, really good film, and I do encourage that you go check it out. Also, at the screening, they gave us some pretty cool swag. We got this really dope little Flash ball cap, and this tee, thankfully in a large, that just says The Flash in theaters June 16. So yeah, got some cool merch. They were giving out prizes and doing these fun Q&As and stuff. And 2 people actually won a golden ticket to go to an expenses paid trip to LA to check out the premiere of The Flash. That's so sick. Congrats to those people. But yeah, the screening that I got to attend here in Toronto, it was a lot of fun. Cineplex, Crave, Warner Brothers, Virgin Radio, everybody involved. They did such a bang-up job. It was a ton of fun. Had a blast. Again, shout out my boy Brad for coming with me to check it out. Yeah, just forgot to mention that. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.